Remember I told you the moment I stepped into the house, the landlord said, I know it's not you, Titi. Titi cannot do a thing like that. This was one of the biggest trap I ever fell into in my childhood. And of course, everybody said they weren't the ones who dug the hole. And so my landlord got pissed and decided to punish his suspect. His suspect was my immediate older sister, who at that time was a very troublesome, very daring, very stubborn, very adamant child. He decided to punish her and release everybody else. My sister was there kneeling for hours. He told her to kneel down, raise up her hands and close her eyes. While everybody else had left, I'll secretly come back and peep through the window. Then I'll see my sister struggling, crying, wailing, doing everything while the landlord was closely monitoring her. Oh, it broke my heart severally. I wish I could just step forward and say, Daddy, I did it. I'm sorry I lied. But I just couldn't. Because at the point he said, I know it can't be you, Titi. Everybody looked at me like, oh, Titi the righteous, Titi the straightforward person, Titi the almighty, Titi the this, Titi the that. How then do I come forward to say, oh, Daddy, it's actually me, I did this? How would the man feel? How will everybody feel? I feared the judgment. I feared how everybody else was going to treat me, considering that in the past I have been the one who always leaked everybody's secrets, who always tell the truth, who always do this and do that. And considering that every other child in the compound already had issues with me regarding telling the truth and exposing whoever does a thing. So it was very hard for me. But up till now, I still feel so bad. Eventually, I left, and after like 4 hours, the man decided to release my sister. My sister came back to the house. She was fuming. She was saying all manner of things. She was very angry. But I knew better, so I stayed very far away from her. In the first place, she and I, we were not exactly friends. In fact, we don't like seeing eye to eye. And so for years, I carried this secret with me. My sister and I weren't exactly friends. We don't talk. And up until I got to university, I would always think about this thing and wonder, what if my sister knows? What if she gets to know that I was the one who did that thing she was severely punished for? Eventually, the both of us became very close, although we were not at all close when we were younger. But when we got to the university, I don't know what magic happened. I don't know what miracle happened. We just somehow became the best of friends. So one of those weekends on campus, I was less busy and I decided to visit her. While on my way to her, I made up my mind I was going to tell her this thing I did to her while I was young, and I'll tell her how sorry I genuinely was. I'll explain to her what happened and the reason I couldn't step forward to tell the truth. I hope she'll forgive me. She was so happy to see me. She was everything, but I was a bit withdrawn because my conscience was there pricking me. I was even scared. I was very, unsure how she was going to react, what was going to happen next, because this is a relationship that we never really had. We've been friends. We are only beginning to, get close and become sweet sisters. And now I'm going to reveal something so bad I did to her. So I just told myself I was going to tell her, whatever happens next, I'll be fine, because it's not like we've always been best of friends. I'll just let go. But then my conscience will know that I have told the truth, and I'll be free from this guilt I've carried for years. So one of those times we were there chatting, gisting and everything, and I told her I want to tell you something. She said, what was that? I told her to promise me she wasn't going to be mad at me. Then she went, well, you better say what you want to say. I don't have time for all this. So I came up and I told her, do you remember back then when we were young? Do you remember somebody dug the hole in the compound? The person was trying to make a river or a well, got to see the hole, and he got mad and decided and suspected you were the one, so he punished you. And she went, oh, that man, I don't know what I ever did to that man. I don't know why he hated me so much. I don't know, blah 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 blah. And I could tell that she was still very angry about that incident. I then told her, what if I tell you I was the one who dug the hole? My sister was shocked, and for some minutes she didn't say a word. After some minutes, my sister began to ask questions. Why did you talk? Why did you watch the man punish me for something I didn't do? You were there. Why didn't you say you were the one? Or else you're the one who did it. And I was there. I was just looking at her. I didn't know what to say. And she goes, why didn't you say something? I then explained to her the reason I couldn't step forward to say I was the one who did it. I told her how bad I had felt for years, how much I have carried this guilt, how much my conscience had been judging me over this matter, and to the extent that I just have to come up and say it, even now that it's been years and we're all grown up and all of that. I told her I was sincerely sorry, that I was so sorry, and I beat myself so hard for not being bold enough to dare to damn the consequence and just say the truth, when of course the truth is what everybody knew me at that time to be something I would always tell. And she was like, but you're wicked though. We both laughed and she said it's okay, she has forgiven me. Anyone at that time would have easily believed and concluded that she was the one who committed such crime, because of course she was a very stubborn, very troublesome kid and all of that. But then summarily she told me she had forgiven me, and I just feel like sometimes parents think they know their children so well, but sometimes you cannot be too sure.